See you at the crossroads. Hey everyone, welcome to Keeping Up with the Kardashians, a proud member of No Podcast Network. Because we don't want to be part of No Podcast Network.
No, we don't. Not with the.
And in all fairness, they don't want us.
We don't. I don't know what. No, I don't want them anymore. We're good.
So we are a proud member of No Podcast Network, but that's okay. We don't need a podcast network to be a crappy podcast.
Nope.
We can do it right here, right now.
Yeah.
And
It could be a crappy podcast all on our own.
And that's what we're doing. We're going to be a crappy podcast for you folks. This is Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Joe.
And welcome to Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We are a podcast centered on all things pop culture in the world, including music, movies, television, comics, toys.
We do comics?
I mean, we have.
We have.
Bet.
What else do we do? Politics.
Yeah.
Children punching.
Yes. We are the leading podcast in children assaults.
So, quick funny story about that. So I was at this retreat. I went on this work retreat this weekend, or Monday through Wednesday, right? And it's a group of like 10 different clergy members. And one of them asked me like, "Hey Nick, how's the podcast going?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's going really well." And
Podcast
she's like,
famous?
yeah. And she's like, "I've been telling everyone about it." And everyone in the group is like, "What?" I'm like, "Actually, I don't really advertise it within the church because we talk about some things." And then the leader of the group, the person who's in charge, who's
boy.
this
Here we
mentor,
go.
they're like, "Give me a for instance." So I said,
No.
Here's a for instance. How many 5-year-olds could you take in a fight? And it seriously was a 45-minute conversation.
Of
during
course
our
it
retreat.
was.
Nice.
It
Of
was,
course
it
it
was.
was.
This big, long conversation because everyone knows it's a joke. But
And everybody wants to beat up kids.
yeah, and they were all talking. They were laughing about it. It was pretty funny. So,
I protest that this is the greatest icebreaker conversation piece of all time.
I mean, but the problem would be if you get someone who's like an actual like murderer or whatever. He's like, "I got like 40 in my backyard right now."
He's like, I'll show
Okay,
you.
then,
Hold on.
Then they win.
Not necessarily, because did they take them all at once, or was
No,
it one at a time?
probably not.
Exactly.
Like a pansy. Individually.
Individually, one at a time.
One at a time.
One at a
like
time.
some loser.
I wonder if there's any weird questions that our podcast listeners have that we could discuss. Like any questions that may seem edgy that you shouldn't talk about, but are actually funny to talk about. So if they do, I want to know them.
Hit the socials or 734-494-0980.
Give us a question. Give us a hypothetical. Obviously, it's not real. Just like beating up 5-year-olds.
Come on. Don't
It's not
ruin
real.
it for me.
It's not real. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
But I need
It was real in my heart.
A man can dream.
Like, for instance, how far do you think you can punt a 25-pound dog?
Not
What?
far.
Not far.
I have a. Okay, so this is the second week you're talking about assaulting animals.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm very concerned.
All right.
Since you're both pet owners,
All right.
I'm very concerned for the animals in your house.
All right, maybe. Okay, let me think of a different question. I got nothing actually. I got nothing.
25 pounds. That would hurt your foot.
Yeah, that would kill.
That would hurt bad.
That would hurt real bad actually.
So
Have
bad.
you ever-
I'd say if you can go more than 10 yards, it's probably good.
10 yards. Yeah,
It's,
25-pound dog, yeah.
you
10
could
yards.
kick. You think you
10
could
yards
kick?
would be pretty amazing.
I think that'd be amazing.
Oh, okay, I was gonna
Yeah.
say. I was gonna say. You think you can kick it a 25-pound dog more than 10 yards?
I don't
Not a
think I
chance.
could get it 5 yards. Actually, the more I'm
First
thinking
of all,
about
I don't want Nick doing anything foot related.
that's a good point. That's a very good point.
So you can be the judge. You can be the person who measures how far we
how far it goes?
Yeah.
I got the tape measure ready, gentlemen. But here's the funny thing:
He'd still
as
hurt
I'm-
himself there.
I was
I
going
know,
to say as I'm
walking
going
to measure it out.
I'd
Yeah.
trip in like a gopher hole or something like that and roll the ankle. Oh, wait. There wouldn't need to be a gopher hole. I would just roll my ankle.
I'm not comfortable with the talk of assaulting animals. Can we go back to beating up kids?
Well, we could. I'm just trying to think of an interesting hypothetical that you would never, ever, ever do, but it'd be interesting to talk about. Like, what, like...
The Beard Kardashian podcast.
The beard card.
All I'm drinking a expired Miller Lite.
Yeah, it's not good, but we're drinking it
It's
anyways.
Miller Lite. It's never good.
So what about though? Like, have you ever been driving down the car and you fantasize about like
Yes.
all of a sudden going destruction derby and just like trashing cars?
You guys are sick.
I
Have you never done that?
listen.
No.
I drove.
Yes, you have.
Never.
You're always angry.
I drove for the better part of 3 hours before I came here.
Yeah.
Most of that I was fantasizing just tanking people.
Wouldn't it be fun though to like one day just?
I want
decide
one of
you
those
could-
OG Hummers, like
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Like Arnold
the one
Schwarzenegger
that
had.
basically says you
It basically
have a
came
really
from
small.
it came from like the
genitalia.
Gulf War.
Yeah.
Came from the original
Yeah.
Gulf
Oh
War.
yeah.
I just want to just drive. Stoplights be damned. I'm just like a snowplow.
And who's
just
going to stop you?
cars
right?
going everywhere.
I would just take a snowplow with like the shovel on the front and just.
Just not any snowplow though. You'd have to get the ones from like Alaska.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those ones are hardcore, man.
Yeah.
Those are like tanks. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
That would be fun,
Do
wouldn't
you
it?
guys need some therapy today?
No, I mean,
No, I'm good.
Okay, good.
I'm real
You
good.
got that crazy
he's
eye.
got the crazy eye there when he said I'm good. It was like he's clearly not.
I'll give you a hug after this.
His eye is twitching a
Oh,
little
what?
bit. His eye is twitching. Anyway, I want weird hypothetical situations. So if people can call in and leave us some or send some on the Twitter.
Remember over the summer I was sending a few out a week or here and there.
Yeah,
I'll
you
have, to,
were.
I'll have to look those up.
Yeah. Well, something to think about.
What else, gentlemen?
I'm gonna go right into the James Gunn news from the week.
Yeah,
James Gunn and the other guy are now heading DC Universe.
the other guy.
I don't know his name. Who cares? It's James Gunn.
Yeah. James, I said to Rob earlier that I think it's a little too late in some ways. Like,
They're finally starting to sort of get things right.
yeah.
Yeah, but they've burned a lot of goodwill.
You're right. They burned a lot of goodwill, but also I think the era of superhero movies making as much money as they did
Has passed.
Is done.
Yeah.
It's over
Yeah.
because people it's reached the peak. It's plateaued. We're now going downhill in terms of box offices and all that. So I think it's too late, and I think they're going to be quick to put the blame on James Gunn if things don't if they don't reach Marvel levels, which I don't think it's possible now.
Oh, I think James Gunn is playing with house money right now.
You think that he's just got a carte blanche, like he can just do whatever he wants?
I do, but I don't think because DC is in dire straits right now anyway.
That's true.
So if he doesn't turn it around, he can be like, I couldn't do this.
You started it.
Yeah, you started it, and even I couldn't fix this. And if he does it, if he turns it around and they start making money and they start making good quality films, he's gonna be like, look what I can do.
Yep.
He's playing with house money, in my opinion.
I mean, I suppose that's possible.
I
It's
mean,
just
he inherited like a disaster, basically.
And in a way, he also inherited a good role of like Black Adam just coming out.
He did.
And Black Adam is doing really good at the
and
box
Peacemaker and the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I don't mean he inherited like a disaster of like a roster of potential. I mean he inherited a situational disaster.
Like the Batgirl cancellation and all that.
Yeah, all coming in on the wake of all of that stuff.
Right.
And now he basically is in a no lose situation. He's in the opposite of a Kobayashi Maru.
Nice cut.
Well done, sir.
Look at me, I can do
look
Star
at
Trek
you
stuff.
Getting your Star Trek jabs in.
You can make it happen. Cal. I'm looking at the box offices right now, seeing what DC movies have.
Yeah.
I think
been
Marvel's
number
going to do
one.
pretty good here next month, though, with Black Panther 2.
Yeah,
I'm going to guess it's going to go pretty big.
I'm not excited about it. I could care less about Black.
Couldn't
I love
care
the first one. Yeah. Yeah.
The previews have been pretty good for it.
I mean, sometimes it's like,
But it's also
can you
Marvel.
trust previews?
Yeah.
Like where they're always like, they did test screenings and it got a standing ovation. And
Well, the test screens trash, or the critics trash Black Adam. The audience is loving it.
Oh yeah, the week before Black Adam came out, it was getting trashed.
Yeah.
And then it came out and everybody went and saw it, loved it.
Yeah.
The audience score was 90-something%, right? Not
Right.
90,
I
92.
blame Henry Cavill for all that.
Well, no, you got to
joking.
give it to The
I'm
Rock.
totally joking, man.
Everybody calm down.
you can't joke like that.
You calm down.
Actually, I guess it hasn't done that well. It's only at $83 million for domestic.
But it opened last week, so that's pretty good.
Well, I know, but you think about
And-
Marvel
but
movies,
you-
what they make in their opening weekend?
They used to make in their opening weekend.
Yeah,
we're
before
really
COVID.
in a different. I hate this whole like post-pandemic thing where it's like, oh, pre-COVID and post-COVID, but it is a real thing.
Yeah.
The landscape of film going is.
But like Spider-Man opened
Wait,
up to buco money.
Hold on.
July 8th, Thor opened. It made $238 million.
Yeah, but
But it's also a piece of crap.
Minions, July 1st, $223 million.
Holiday weekend.
kids
Okay.
movie though.
June
What's Black Adam
24th
rated?
through 26th.
What's Black Adam rated?
Elvis
PG-13.
made $134 million.
Did it?
Yes.
What did Batman do when it came out?
Boomers are going to see it. They still go to
Jurassic
movies.
World Dominion, $214 million its first night.
That did-
Top Gun
Damn.
Maverick, its
A
first
billion.
weekend.
14 billion.
It, $223 million.
It didn't make as much as Top Pod, though.
Doctor Strange, $222 million. The Batman, $166 million.
All right, so I kind of take it back. It didn't really do that hot at the box
No.
office.
Yeah.
But that's how does it compare to like first character introductions, like Shang-Chi from a couple years ago and all that?
Yeah, but it's the Rock though.
Yeah,
I
The
can
Rock
agree.
should
The
be
Rock.
pulling weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be. So
He's got to pull in over $100 million. That
Actually,
I read somewhere
it does-
it's his best opening weekend of any film he's ever
Poor-
been
the
in.
poor audience gets confused at like which Rock movie is this?
So are
Well,
This is the one that came out last week or the one coming out the next week?
Shang-Chi.
no, it's the one this week.
Shang-Chi made $139 million its first weekend.
Okay.
Really?
That was a Labor Day weekend, so it was a 3-day weekend. So yeah, the Fast 9 opened to $98 million.
What?
Yeah.
It beat Black Adam?
People love those movies.
Okay, so actually, now that I'm looking at it, it says overall gross for Black Adam was 113.
Okay.
113.
Still, it's
Because it's
pretty far behind some of the top movies of the year.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
averaging $15,000 per theater right now, which is it's okay. So anyway,
I mean, I've always contested that, box office gross doesn't necessarily equal a good or a bad movie.
Well, yeah, because you look at the Batman, it didn't do $1 billion, and it was phenomenal.
No. But I don't know.
Best movie of the year.
No, Batman or Top Gun? Top Gun.
Batman
Maverick.
over Maverick.
Really?
Followed closely by Maverick.
yeah,
Really?
yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I'd have to take a minute to think about that.
Oh my gosh,
I want an answer by the end of the episode.
I'm
Okay,
looking at
I'm gonna mull it over.
I'm looking at the 2020 monthly box office, and this is hilarious because in January it made $900 million at the box office, right? Total. February $638 million.
This is total box office.
Yeah. March $253 million. April $52,000 because of COVID.
Until it shut down.
Oh, of 2020.
Yeah.
Of 2020.
Oh.
And then May 995,000, June 3 million, July
52,000.
$52,000 total in April. The highest grossing movie.
I want to know where. Hold on. What were movie theaters? What movie theaters were showing movies in April 2020?
Florida.
Yeah, probably.
The highest grossing movie of
They all deserve it anyway.
of April of 2020 was a movie called Phoenix, Oregon,
Never heard of it.
and it grossed $16,000.
Highest grossing movie of the month.
It was available in 33 theaters.
Alaska.
It could have been. It could have been like some,
That's like $500. That's $500 a theater of box office gross.
But isn't that crazy? January $900 million to April 52,000. Can you imagine the amount of layoffs and the amount of
Oh, for sure.
that's just one industry.
yeah. I mean, they were
Not
yeah.
almost $1 billion gone in 3 months.
yeah. It's a crazy thought. Like in January, the number one movie for the whole month was Bad Boys for Life. It made $135 million. February, the number one movie was Sonic the Hedgehog. It made $123 million.
That was the last movie I saw before COVID.
yeah. And
Mine
then,
was Bad Boys.
and then March happened, and Onward is number one. And then that's when COVID happened. And then, yeah, that was it.
Damn.
And that's really crazy to look at that. Like, can you imagine if someone without any context looked at the box office list in like 20 years and said, what the heck
What happened?
Like, did they just stop making movies? Well, technically, yes.
I wonder if there's any value in a movie ticket from April of 2020.
That would be interesting. So, and it's interesting to look at 2021 because So, okay, I said in 2020, there was no month in 2020 that was above 900 million on the box office. Okay. If I go to
That was above 900
million
Okay.
total. If I go to 2019, let me go to 2019. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months above $900 million. Okay.
Wow.
So then you get to 2021. So as we're rebounding from it, December is the first one. December of 2021 is the first month that hit 900 million, and it was because of Spider-Man No Way Home, because that made 572 million by itself.
So my
Encanto came out.
my post-COVID theory is still holds a little water.
Well, it does a little bit, but now if I go into 2022, actually we only have 2 months above 900 million in 2022.
And we're
again,
coming up on November.
Yeah, keep in mind. So in 2019, there was 6. Did I say? So
7.
7. So the box office, it still has not rebounded. It's not back, and it may. I don't know if it'll ever really
with the but with everybody going to streaming over COVID, right? COVID was like, okay, we're all going to stream everything now, and the simultaneous releases spiked over those years, where we're going to release it in the theaters, we're also going to release it in streaming.
Right.
I don't think it's going to. I think they're going to have to sort of recalibrate their expectations.
Right.
For what a successful box office month looks like. I think 900 million might be a lofty goal.
It just stinks.
Unless there's some sort of huge movie coming out.
But think about if you were, think about people who work in those movie theaters. They're screwed, man. Like, they're laying off people left and right, probably still. They're still closing theaters left and right.
My question is, do you think that this was an inevitability and COVID was just a catalyst? Or is this directly caused by COVID?
Directly caused. I think COVID sped everything up.
So,
like drastically sped it up.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think the timeline was? How many years do you think movie theaters had in the way that it was in 2019? How many more years of that do you think the theaters had if COVID never existed and we didn't have to do all of that shutdown?
3 to 5.
3 to 5.
I was going to say 5 to 10.
Oh,
I was going to say somewhere in the 5 range.
Yeah, I think 3 to 5 years before it kind of went to where it is now. But like overnight, it readjusted. I mean, that's the same thing that's happened in the churches, right? The churches, what's happened after COVID is their numbers are way down. Well, that happened was that the process sped up 5 to 10 years of what was already happening, the decline of the church. So
I think it, like a 5-year clip. I think we're 5 years ahead of where we should be.
Thanks, Thanos.
But even with like Uber Eats or DoorDash, all that stuff, it all spiked, right? Because everybody's getting food delivered. Nothing is open. I think we were getting to where we are now eventually.
Yeah.
We just got there so soon. It's hard to adjust that quickly.
It is. But you don't really have a choice.
No.
Nope.
So you have to. So, but it's fascinating how that worked. That was a nice deep dive, an unplanned deep dive into the box office.
Nick, everything is unplanned on this show.
That's very
except
true.
for the second half.
That's true.
That's true.
Second half we got on lockdown. We know what we're doing.
You never even said what we were reviewing in the second half.
I know.
I never did. Oh, no, I normally say we're going to review that. Fans, I let you down.
They don't even know what's happening. The anxiety that some of these listeners are feeling right now, not knowing what we're going to talk about the second half.
Do
of the show.
I go back and edit it in?
No.
And
don't even mention it. Let them figure it out.
Let them figure it out. So something's going to happen the second half of the show if you're listening for the first time,
or if you've read the episode title.
Yeah, I say that there's a whole description.
Yeah.
Everywhere you get the show.
Do you ever read episode descriptions on podcasts? I don't.
I do.
I do.
Because I'm going to see if I'm going to listen to it or not.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just there's certain podcasts where I know I'm going to listen to, so I don't even.
How many podcasts do you listen to on a weekly basis?
One less than I used to.
Oh my gosh. Not as many as I used to. I would say 5.
Yeah, me neither.
5 to 6.
5 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay. I get far less than that.
Okay. Yeah, 5 to 6.
On a regular basis. What are some of your favorites to listen to on a regular basis?
I listen to a lot of there's one I'm a big Fallout fan, so there's like a Fallout podcast that I listen to. It's a video game. What? What did you just write?
Don't worry about it.
What did you just write? Oh yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not setting him up. I'm not doing it.
I wasn't asking
No,
for that.
I'm not setting him up.
I'm genuinely curious because 5 to 6.
I listen to
is
some
a
music
lot.
once. I couldn't tell you the name because they're on my playlist or whatever on my phone. But yeah,
I think I listened to like maybe 2 or maybe like 3 or 4.
yeah,
Like not consistently, but like in rotation.
yeah. There's an IGN one I listen to as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you still listen to the Batman one? The serial.
No, I never
the
finished
episodic
it.
one?
I kind of stopped and I never went back to it.
Is it not good? Because I was kind of interested in that one. I like that as a premise, as a podcast premise.
Starts off really, really strong, like really strong.
And then it gets weak when he becomes Batman.
It kind of does. But I got to finish it out myself.
Okay.
I just got busy.
Is it done? Is it done or is it?
Yeah, it's season 1. It's done.
Okay.
I just got to get to it and finish it.
See, I like that. It's almost like a comic in a way.
It's like a comic, and it starts off kind of like a murder mystery, like a real mystery. It was kind of cool. Like, why is Bruce Wayne this? And you didn't get the full. You got to kind of try to piece things together.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool at the beginning, like really cool.
What's it called again? Batman
Unburied.
Got it.
You still with us, Nick?
I'm still with you.
Hey, you guys are listeners. I'm gonna listen to that one.
I listen.
I'm gonna throw it into the rotation. I like those kinds of podcasts. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a big like a murder mystery podcast.
those don't
not
do it for me.
necessarily. I mean,
my wife loves those ones.
or like true crime. It would have to be good, but like, I don't know, something that's a bit more serialized that tells a story has a start and a finish.
Right.
I like stuff like that.
I get that.
I see episodes that I try to listen to as many as I can, which is not very many.
Yeah.
But like Spy Hards this week is doing The Rocketeer.
That's
So
one.
guess what?
That's one that's in my rotation.
Yeah.
And
I try to listen to Spy Hards when I can, and pods like us and
Yep.
and like that. But
Yes,
but as soon as I saw Rocketeer on Spy Hards, I'm like, I'm about it.
I get that. That makes sense. Tell me about it.
Really?
Yeah,
podcast.
Spy Hards is on there. I listened to the Time Blasters Toys podcast.
They have one?
Yeah, Time Blaster Toycast.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
They have several episodes. They go over obviously toys and stuff, but they're pretty wrestling heavy.
Okay.
Like they're all big wrestling fans, so they go over a lot of wrestling toys. But they have different series, so they'll go over like certain series of toys, and they'll revisit it every so often.
We got to stop by there, see if we can use their store.
Yes.
For what?
For that upcoming thing.
For what?
For that upcoming
What are you
Patreon
talking
episode.
about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you'll find out.
We'll
I'll surprise you.
We will. Let's take a very quick commercial break.
Okay.
And we're going to come back for more discussion. We got more stuff we want to talk about with you, but I think we should take a quick break.
Back with more Keeping Up with the Kardashians after this.
We'll back.
Look at that.
Wow.
On a very special episode.
And we're back. Back to talk to you, folks. I don't know what that was.
What was that one guy who did he did like late night radio, was syndicated. He had a really deep voice.
Really deep voice, and they played the saxophone.
And it would
music
always be middle-aged white women calling in at like 11:30, like drunk on wine, requesting like just telling the saddest stories and requesting like the just
90s radio show with guy with deep voice. Google Coast to Coast AM. That's not
it was like a seductive.
I know, and
Hey, Joe.
and they played
How you doing?
And they played this song on there. Well, not
Yeah.
that one.
That's crickets.
They played that one on there, didn't they?
Yeah, they would play stuff like that.
Yeah. And they'd be like, "Welcome."
And it'd be like a woman named Margaret would call in.
Yeah,
And she'd have like three glasses of wine, and she would just ramble a story about her ex-husband.
and I can't remember. That's gonna kill me. What it was because
Yeah.
it's been on the tip of my tongue because I was trying to name it a while ago. I was talking with Leslie
Just
about it.
Google seductive deep radio voice guy
Seductive
and scroll past my name
deep
after it.
radio voice 90s.
It was like, I don't want to say pillow talk, but it was like something like that.
Something talk, right? Wasn't it?
Something like that.
radio show.
It was syndicated, so I know a lot of listeners probably know who we're talking about.
Ken was no. That's
They're yelling at us right now.
I know. I'm sure
I
some of them
know.
are.
Someone's got to tell us what it is. Gosh, it's gonna.
Hold on. What was it? I heard something.
Someone's screaming.
Yep.
Wait, it wouldn't really work that way though because they're hearing this after.
That's right.
No,
Recorded.
don't
Don't
ruin this for me.
No, it's too late. I got nothing, guys. I can't find it.
Really? I thought it'd be an easy Google.
That guy had it scrubbed from the internet.
I know.
Yeah, it lists Ken Nordine, but he's the guy who does the deep voice for movie trailers, I think.
In a world
where
we talked about that guy before. How about
yes, we
like
have.
cornered the market?
Yeah, cornered the market. And as soon as he died, trailers went down the tube.
Right.
We actually proved that on the show because he died in I want to say 2006 or somewhere around there, and that's about when movie trailers went to the garbage can.
It stinks.
Alan Almond?
Yes.
Alan Almond?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see if I can find something.
What was the name of the show?
Pillow Talk.
Damn, I'm good. I may or may not have listened to more than my fair share of that.
Did you call in?
No, but I wanted some of the phone numbers for the women that did.
You called in to get the numbers. Hey man.
There was a woman that called in 45 minutes ago. I mean, she had it rough, but what's her number? What's her number? And can you play little Kenny G for me?
Yeah, exactly. Let's get on that. Let's see. Hold on.
Rock.
Oh yeah.
WNIC FM, Dearborn, Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I swear it was syndicated though, but it maybe it was just.
And I want to welcome you with open arms to the third hour of Alan Almond's Pillow Talk.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm
We got
feeling
that Pillow
good right
Talk.
now. aren't
Yeah.
I? Is anyone else feeling good?
Hey Nick. I got welcome you to Pillow Talk.
Anyway, so that's there we go.
Maybe he wasn't syndicated and it was just
Just a Dearborn store.
Well, it was 100.3 WNIC.
Yeah. Let me Google
Sounded
Alan,
like just
Alan
Dearborn.
Almond. Alan Almond.
See if that it was Pillow. Just Google was Pillow Talk syndicated. You got to learn how to.
Yeah.
Do I need to teach you how to Google? Like I taught
Can
my
you
kids.
take over the soundboard and the Googling?
I taught my kids how to Google. You just all you do is
just
Google
Detroit.
whatever you're thinking.
He was
you
just
Google.
Type it in, yeah.
Yeah.
Just Detroit.
Wow. I'm sorry.
So no
I'm-
listener has any
No.
idea what we were talking about.
Well, I'm sorry. Everybody needs to Google Alan Almond and Pillow Talk, and it was the most seductive radio, like corny seductive though.
Yeah.
So I looked up this
But it was
article
awesome.
on him, and it's talking about it, and it says, in just one show in the early 90s, he read a poem, counseled two teenagers, passed along declarations of devotion, and announced a pregnancy to a dumbstruck father in just one episode.
That's great.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Why did he get taken off the air? He needs to be on still.
He provided countless
And his
orgasms.
sign off was "Sweet Dreams, Angel."
Hey, sweet dreams, Angel.
Yeah.
All right.
He told the Free Press in 2009, "Pillow Talk is a state of mind, a place to relax and feel cozy, safe and comfortable."
Oh my God. This
Oh
guy.
my gosh. There's a Facebook page dedicated to it.
Is there?
Is he
Yeah.
still alive?
He died.
Oh, rest in peace.
Guess we're not coming back with that show.
And it was very rare that he was ever photographed.
Really?
Yeah. In 1985, a Free Press reporter described him, he was 38 at the time, a 6-footer with sandy blonde hair and a trim mustache, and said that he
Sounds
looked
about
like
right.
a huskier Errol Flynn.
Ooh, that's a dated reference,
Yeah,
man.
I haven't. Yeah, got nothing.
You know it's old because in 85 they're referencing somebody that's already been in the scene for a while, so it's yeah.
He graduated from Birmingham Groves High School and went to Michigan State, and he majored in literature.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Rest in peace. Rest in power, my friend.
Oh, he was found inside his Beverly Hills home.
Beverly Hills, Michigan.
And
Yes.
this was a 2015, so he died 7 years
Damn.
ago.
Damn.
Rest R.I.P. Alan Almond.
Almost-
Diabetes took you too soon.
Don't give Alan Almond diabetes.
It's too late. It already took his life.
That man is a legend. Oh,
You guys are ridiculous.
me? He's the one killing people with
That's true.
fake disease. Well,
Again,
he's the one
Real
posthumous-
diseases.
I
He's
didn't-
posthumously
I was
giving him
gonna
a
say,
disease.
I didn't kill him.
No,
Diabetes killed him. Okay, diabetes is the silent killer, gentlemen. Okay,
Not according to you, because you keep
millions of
announcing
people
it.
die of diabetes every year.
Yeah, so far 2 more.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's still alive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, George R. R. Martin's still
he's
alive.
still around.
He's still alive for now. What else do you want to talk about, gentlemen?
You want to touch on this 250 song? The 90s songs? Just briefly.
Sure.
So what was the name of the website? Forklift?
Pitchfork.
Pitchfork.
Forklift.
Forklift.org.
Yeah,
They're
forklift.
they're just
it
trying
is
to get the
forklift.
word
So we can
out.
pick up this list and put it into the garbage can.
Yeah, put out their top 250 90s songs. Number 1, Fantasy by Mariah Carey.
Not the original.
The remix.
The
The remix.
oh,
with
I didn't,
ODB.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, the remix. And you know what number 2 was? No one knows because it sucks.
Yeah.
It's Bjork. Number 2 is Bjork. Let me just say that one more time. Number 2.
It's one of like 4. I want to say like 4 Bjork songs on the top 250. And I got
Only 2 Mariah Carey.
And if you're listening to this, I bet you right now, if I asked you what is the best 90s song of the 2000s or 90s, none of you would have said Bjork. But she's number 2. What would be your number 1 if you had to rank your songs? What would be your number 1?
I don't know. It would. I would take some time. It would probably be a rock song or a hip hop song.
Okay.
Because to me, those were the 2
That was
dominating
like the
genres
era. Yeah.
of the 90s. And I will. I mean, what to me? What's the criteria? Are we going influence? Are we going just popularity? Are we just going like this is like the technicality, the structure of the song is
And
the
that's
best?
what's so tricky because I don't know what they're using
Right.
to determine this on this list. Because to me, even their top 5. Okay, let me go through their top 5 for the people at home so you can hear what they are. So number 1 is Mariah Carey's Fantasy remix featuring Old Dirty Bastard. Number 2 is Bjork, Hyper Ballad. Number 3 is Aaliyah, Are You That Somebody? Number 4 is Liz Phair, Fucking Run. Number 5 is Missy Elliott, The Rain.
Okay, so what this tells me a couple things.
What does it tell you?
One, the person who put this list together doesn't know anything,
Yeah, because they have
Anything at
Smells
all.
Like Teen Spirit at 6.
and I'm not
Over
even
Bjork.
I'm not even saying that Teen Spirit needs to be number 1.
No, it doesn't.
I'm not saying that.
It shouldn't.
But this is, and the other thing that tells me is this is exactly what Pitchfork wanted. This is what they do. I don't know if do you ever read Pitchfork?
They do.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
They do dumb shit like this to get people to click on it and then argue about it.
Right.
Which, you know what? Congratulations, it worked.
You've
because
succeeded.
this is insanity.
Well, it's funny.
And the other thing is like you could pick 10 people and say come up with the 250 best songs of the 1990s, and you're going to get 10 different lists. And you're going to get 10 different number 1s. You're going to get 10 completely unique sets of songs
Right.
because it's subjective.
Right.
So this is this person's 250 best songs of the 1990s. My thing is why I know why Pitchfork would sign off on it as being theirs because this is what they do.
Yeah. They just.
We're
yeah.
going outside the box for the sake of going outside the box.
Right.
But this
Well,
is
It's interesting because Radiohead's in here 3 times, which makes sense to me. It's the
It's
90s.
fair.
They should be in there. But their highest rated song is 24. What would you say their highest rated Radiohead song in the 90s should be?
I would say either Karma Police or Creep.
Okay, Creep's not even on the list.
Creep's on there. It is. It's in the hundreds something. It's on there.
Let Down is 121.
Look, just search Creep.
Karma Police is 82. Paranoid. Let me just search for it. Creep.
Oh, Paranoid Android's on there?
They're not on there.
Creep's not on there?
Creep's not on there.
Then see this is my whole problem.
Paranoid Android is their highest rated one over Creep and over Karma Police. I think that's a good song, but it shouldn't be ranked higher than those. And Creep's not even on the list.
Yeah.
What if anyone knows a Radiohead song? It's Creep. Maybe Karma
Yeah.
Police, but
I bet you people if you played more people know Creep than
then Karma Police.
yeah. Because here's the thing. The Taylor Hawkins concert. Did you watch the cover with Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
That is
Everyone sang along.
That is the most inspiring karaoke I've ever heard. I'm like, if Dave Chappelle can go up there and sound like crap,
And he was terrible. But
I'm like, I can probably do some karaoke. I could do something. I felt more confidence. That's what boosted my confidence for maybe recording some music of my own.
Yeah,
at some point.
It made you think we could use GarageBand. We could make a hit single, right? It makes you think that in your head, and maybe it makes you actually do it. I don't know.
But if I were to say what I think is the best song of the 1990s, it'd be rock or hip hop. I'd be hard pressed to pick something other than "Smells Like Teen Spirit." I know it's the cliche pick, but everybody across genres, across races, across genders, everybody knows that song. Everybody was inspired by that song.
Yeah.
I mean, that is, to me, that is the biggest song of the 90s. Is it the best? No, maybe not the best, but it's the biggest, and therefore it's going to top my list of, if I'm making a list of top 250 songs of the 1990s, we're going to start at number 2 because number 1 is going to be Teen Spirit.
I can get behind that.
In the Air Tonight, is that an 80s or 90s?
80s.
Is it 80s?
That's 89.
89 or 88?
It's off of No Jacket Required.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
87.
But that isn't, what's interesting
88.
is there isn't a lot of rock bands in here. Like, where is Aerosmith? In fact, Aerosmith is not on this list at all.
No.
Which is they had a great 90s output.
For them.
Aerosmith had,
And what is the top rock song? Enter Sandman at 179.
Is that the only Metallica on there?
The only one. Not even the one. The only one.
Well, I could get that because the 90s were an interesting time.
1985 for No Jacket Required.
Really? That early? Wow.
Okay, so the rock is definitely underrepresented. Here's my hot take though. At number 240, what is it? 246. They have a little song by a band called Wilson Phillips. Hold On. I think that should be significantly higher. Hold On was a massive hit. Hold on for one more day.
For your point for that, I Will Always Love You. Number 59.
What the frickin' heck? Everyone knows
The
I Will Always
Celine
Love You.
Dion song from Titanic, not on the list.
Really? My heart will go on.
That thing was number 1 forever.
I want to correct myself. It wasn't off No Jacket Required. It's off his first solo album from 1980.
Shut the
In the Air Tonight.
Wow.
Or 1981 it was released.
And that song can still hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how you
hold on. I want to go back to the I Will Always Love You. That's a top 590 song.
Yeah.
Well,
it's one of the greatest songs ever sung.
I would agree with you.
That's one of the greatest vocal performances ever put to tape.
Yeah.
Top 590 song.
No Bare Naked Ladies in here for the 90s. They were huge in the 90s.
For that matter, didn't Hootie and the Blowfish have one of the biggest albums ever?
Huh?
Didn't Hootie and the Blowfish have one of the biggest albums ever?
No
They
Hootie
did.
and the Blowfish.
Correct review.
Only two Tupac songs.
How many Dave Matthews Band songs are on there?
None.
I know. It's garbage list.
Well, actually, that kind of makes me
But
respect those.
even the Celine Dion song from Titanic, like that thing
Don't even
was
start with me.
massive. It's not on
Yeah.
the list.
This didn't make the list?
How did it not make the list?
I don't know. But it didn't make the list.
Wasn't that on in these crowded streets?
Something like it, yeah.
Hole at 68 with
Which one?
Violet.
Violet. And they have there's 2 whole songs because
Which is ridiculous.
No, Doll Parts
Doll Parts.
deserves to be a top 250 song.
Doll Parts should be over the other one, though. And Doll Parts is at 201.
So
Yeah, that's
Where
interesting
Violet's
enough.
at 68.
They have, which I'm not a fan of the song or the artist, Madonna's Vogue at 115. They have Ray of Light rated higher than it in the 100s. And you got to know Vogue is
I would say Vogue is. I don't know. Ray of Light was like she's
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 back.
back, like
Yeah.
legit back. That's
Vogue was the hit.
but that was like that was one of the last ones before.
That was like late 80s, too. It says 90, but like I consider that 80s Madonna more than 90s Madonna.
Couldn't tell you the difference.
I
I couldn't. I want to know why there's no DC talk on this.
Gosh, DC talk. Oh, God.
it's Believist. This list is Believist.
I know. I don't think there's a Christian artist on there.
There is not.
Creed?
Where's the POD?
Yeah,
Is Creed on there?
POD.
No Creed.
No Creed.
But guess who is on there? Korn.
They should be like in the mid
Over some of the artists who were excluded.
in the
no.
mid '90s. Korn was huge.
They
and
Oh,
were not-
revolutionary.
Yeah, but
No, revolution.
Yeah,
I like Korn. But
I think
they're
they're-
not revolutionary.
Oh, I disagree.
at the time they were
well,
huge.
you're an idiot.
Well, that being said, I still disagree.
They started,
That as in May.
albeit new metal didn't last. They started it, and they were huge. The Family Values tours were massive.
Nobody else really sounded like Korn.
No one else still does.
No, that's because
People tried.
But the thing is,
They
the
did.
song that's on there is "Freak on a Leash"
Yeah.
from Follow
Which
the Leader in '99.
It's kind of messed up.
I don't.
Yeah, of any Korn song, would you put "Freak on a Leash" on there?
No,
I would.
yeah, you got the life from that album. I picked that
Oh.
one in that album.
Adidas,
No,
Shoots and Ladders.
Shoots and Ladders is great.
Blind.
Blind, I think Blind would be
Oh,
great.
Blind. I would put Blind on there, but it wasn't a huge hit.
No, it was
Freak
not.
on a Leash was a huge hit,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's got the life.
and that's what made Korn huge.
Yeah, that album, "Follow the Leader," is what really catapulted them to the stratosphere of.
What's the one song off that album? And I can only remember it by the video where it's the bullet traveling around. Do you remember that?
Freak on the Leash, isn't it? Make me bad.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Like that's gonna really bug me. Let me look it up. Follow the Leader. So that's actually their third album.
There's a concerning lack.
Freak on the Leash.
Freak on a Leash.
There's a lack
Wanna
of Pearl
feel
Jam on here as well.
There was Pearl Jam on here,
I know Corduroy, but it was like at 248 or something.
which is a weird pick. Yeah, this is not a good.
I
This is
still take a lot of exceptions.
I don't know that you read Pitchfork a lot.
I do
if
not.
ever.
I
This
was
is
think-
exactly what Pitchfork does.
Oh,
I was thinking about
this
posting
is their shtick.
I was thinking about posting this in our episode description, but I don't want to give them the views because
It doesn't matter. Pitchfork's gonna pitchfork anyway. So
Pitchfork's going to pitchfork. What can you do? Nothing you can do about it. Can we? What would be your number one? He said his would be
probably Teen Spirit.
Teen Spirit. I could see Teen Spirit being number one.
it would
too,
be something Tupac.
okay.
I'm sorry, guys. I'd stick with something Mariah Carey,
You can stick with Mariah. There's
like
nothing wrong
Dream
with that.
Lover or something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But then, so that goes to the point we were discussing when you stepped out is. Then it's always going to be a different list. You could pick 10
It's
people,
subjective.
and it's going to be 10 different
for
lists.
sure.
So why even publish it?
Why even a published list with Bjork as number 2? That's the issue.
Because no, I don't. I guess I don't really have an issue with the list because I know what it is. I have an issue with Pitchfork signing off on it and saying this is not this person's best or favorite. This is the best 250. But
We should do our own list so we can piss people off.
Oh my gosh,
we piss enough people off as it is.
that'd be a Patreon exclusive.
Right?
There we go.
He loves punching his peepees.
I do.
You know what we should do on Patreon is come up with a list and then just spend the whole time
not talking about it.
saying every single one. Go over
Just name them
250 songs.
and go really slow too. Like
No. We're not. Don't even say anything. Start the episode and then just go 250. This song 249, and then end it after one, and then that's the
but
whole
I
thing.
would do it like how this has it, like 250. Len, Steal My Sunshine, 1999, and then Rob would come in. Wu-Tang Clan, Triumph,
Hold on. Wu-Tang Clan Triumph being what is it? 249.
249. Yeah.
That is a travesty. That's insane. That's a top 100 song of the 90s for sure. That was a 6.5 minute verse after verse after verse for the entire Wu-Tang Clan. No chorus. It's a unique hip hop song,
I don't know.
and it was incredibly popular on MTV. The video was great. I don't understand Pitchfork.
Mm-hmm.
5 out of 10 would not read again.
5 out of 10, eh?
5 out of
That's
10.
still pretty good.
I mean, there's some good songs on there.
Yeah.
I would, you know what I would thought about doing when I initially read this list was going over all 250, making a playlist, and then just hitting shuffle and see if I like it.
Okay.
I think I'm going to try that.
That's some dedication.
Yeah, I don't want to have to manually put.
That's some dedication.
I don't want to have to manually put 250 songs. I'm going to put them in order too. 250.
You're out of your mind.
Possible.
All right. Let's do the second half of the show there, Nick.
Well, let's take a quick break. We're going to come right back. We have 2 Star Trek episodes to review with you. 2 Star Trek DS9 episodes. Episode number 23 of Season 7 and 24 of Season 7. We have Extreme Measures and the Dogs of War. We'll be right back. I can't take a commercial break if you just continue singing.
Ha.
We will be right back. And we're back. And Joe is stuffs. Now you can do it.
Now he's back.
Do. Can we all talk about how good that song is, though?
Oh, it's a great song.
All right. So, anyways, we have 2 episodes to review today. We have Extreme Measures and the Dogs of War. Extreme Measures. Odo's getting ready to die. It looks bad too. He on the deathbed. He not gonna make it. And Kira's like, I'm gonna be with you, Odo. And Odo's like, get out, B. I don't want you to watch me die. So he sends her away. And that's, and then here's Bashir and here's O'Brien, and they're like, we just can't let this happen. We got to continue with our plan to lure over Sloane, which works. And Cisco finds out about it, not happy, but he lets him do it. He's like, whatever, go for it.
It's Cisco.
Make it happen. So as they're trying to get the information from Sloane, he takes a suicide pill basically, and they have to dive into his mind to get this information. And what follows is like a rabbit chase around his mind to get the information that they need. It's a really fascinating thing, but regardless, they go through his head. They find the information at the last possible minute, and they escape with the cure, and they cure Odo, and that's the episode. I know, right? It's kind of okay. So, are we going to stick with our reviewing these separate? Last week we kind of reviewed them together, didn't we? This episode feels standalone, though.
It is standalone.
Yeah. All right.
It's standalone included.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this could be standalone.
Of the last.
It's an inclusive
of the
standalone.
last 3 sets of episodes, the last 6 episodes.
This one feels
These are the 2 that feel the most individual.
Sure.
Yeah. So, Odo being healed just 2 episodes after becoming sick. Kind of a bummer, honestly.
I should have killed him.
I'm
going to say it. I'm going to come out and say it.
It's a different era of TV where they don't do that.
I know. And because they had me. Like they drew me in with the emotion. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I was ready to say goodbye to Odo.
Mm-hmm. And I actually think Odo, in a lot of ways, has kind of reached his peak as a character here.
Mm-hmm. Well, good, because the series is about to end.
Well, but that would have been a good fitting end for him instead of riding off into the sunset or whatever it may be in the final episode. I don't know. We're going to have to watch it next week. But
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Never know.
Who knows? I will say I am a little disappointed in how they healed him that quickly. I was hoping maybe they did the cure and it doesn't work and there's still other stuff that they have to do, and that goes into the finale. So going into the finale, you don't know if he's going to live or die. If he still lives in the finale, I'm fine with that.
Now, I was interested because initially when they come out of what's Sloane's mind,
mm-hmm.
they don't succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or when they think they come out of his mind, right?
Right.
And then it's the Tale of Two Cities, and he reads it, and he's like, "Oh, it starts back over after page 196 or whatever it was."
Right.
And that they realize they're still in his mind, and he was just trying to sort of sabotage them or whatever.
Right.
They had me though. I was like, okay, well, I at that point I knew, I'm like, okay, they're probably not going to kill Odo, but what's going to happen? What's the next step?
Yeah.
So they did kind of get me with the writing and the
journey.
Yeah, well, the red flag
Don't
over here.
Stop believing. Sorry, you said journey.
I didn't stop believing.
Yeah, I didn't stop believing that they were going to kill him. And they
no, I didn't stop believing that they were going to save him. But I don't know. It was just okay. The whole save him at the very last minute was like, it felt cheap.
What do you think about the whole spending this whole episode of them chasing down the cure inside his brain?
I didn't like it.
I think it was a missed opportunity to turn into more of a duet episode where it could be Bashir and Sloane
arguing
mano a
to
mano.
get the cure, him interrogating him to get the cure, and Bashir getting really dirty to get the cure, punching him, beating him up, doing whatever it takes.
I mean, still, interesting.
I mean, they did kill him.
Well, they should have killed him. But at the end of this episode, I thought it would have been more serving if Bashir's like, what did I do? I just became Section 31, the thing that I poured, because he just basically did.
He did.
Because I was left questioning. I'm like, okay, the last episode I was, I took a stance against some certain things, and I'm like, okay, well now I kind of want maybe do I want them to save Odo? But then I'm like, well, I'm a hypocrite kind of, because I just spent a whole show saying that I would do the same thing, and,
right?
And now, when it comes time to getting war secrets or getting the secrets of Section 31 or saving one person,
he saves the one.
He saves the one, and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of okay with it
because we have an attachment with Odo.
I thought it would have been exceptional television if he broke and just basically consume the secrets of Section 31.
Or if he refused to leave and O'Brien had to drag him out even.
Yeah.
Because he was just so focused. Like, I think my biggest problem is there's no conflict in this episode for the characters. Like, they're doing some really dirty, shady stuff, and there's not conflict in it. In fact,
What do you mean? There was conflict between him when they approached
his internal
Cisco.
conflict.
Well, when they approached Cisco, like,
yeah, what are you doing? But Cisco just says, "Go ahead."
No, he goes,
well,
oh, that's why you didn't tell me about it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great little bit.
Because Benjamin Cisco.
Yeah,
He's like,
I just mean
I'm gonna walk away. And you guys can talk to me.
I've let people do worse. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that's nothing for him. He just had Worf kill someone the last time. He just had Worf kill the leader of the Klingon Empire.
Pointed Worf in the direction.
No, he knew what he was doing. He knew.
He pointed Worf in the direction.
He knew.
He killed. He pointed.
I mean, he handed him a bat lift, and he's like, "Do what must be done."
Yeah.
Oops. He didn't know what was going to happen.
He thought they were going to
plausible deniability. It's like Section 31 right there.
I had too much blood wine.
But so they wrap this up easily, right? So now this is the end of Section 31 in the show, right? Because Sloane is dead. No one knows that Sloane came. They would still know. He's part of Section 31.
And they captured him pretty easily.
They captured him way easy. Like, just that whole thing. And now I did like Sloane goading O'Brien from the bed, like, how's your wife doing?
Yep.
How's that kid of yours doing? Like, shows you how dirty they are.
But who do you wait? What do you think? You think somebody from like Starfleet would know that he's gone? Or?
Someone from Section 31. Like, they're still an organization. Yeah. Like, they're just a covert
or is he just, or is it just him?
No, it's a whole thing. Section 31. There's a ton of different operatives, and they work together.
It might be a small group, but it's a group.
So then maybe they just don't look for anybody.
But do you think, like the United States, we have black ops groups like that? They know where their operatives are at all times.
So then they know he's dead. So why go look for him?
Or
who killed him?
Their mentality
Doesn't
could
matter.
be.
They know. They already know.
Okay, but Sloane went there because the cure for the changelings was there. Well,
now it really is.
Now it really is, yeah. So, I don't know. I just feel like this is too neat of a wrap-up.
It's very neat.
Well, the whole idea that because Sloane's dead, Section 31 is just gone is absurd.
Well, that's the whole point, is they're not, right? Because he had the opportunity to take them down, which I doubt, even if he got all that information, it would have taken him down, right?
No, it might have put a speed bump out there.
It'll put a speed bump. They're gonna end up killing you, Bashir. Like, if you get that info, you end up dead, my friend. So,
or maybe they're afraid of Bashir because he took down the top guy.
Maybe they're like,
whoa,
don't mess with this augment.
Never mind.
He's hardcore. He's not worth it. So my question is, did Bashir cross a line, or because Sloane had crossed that line first, does that justify the actions of Bashir?
He started it.
I mean,
let me think of how I can be consistent. I've taken so many stances.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's war. I don't.
What is it good for?
Absolutely everything.
According to you. You just want to commit war crimes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
My son listened to that episode last week, by the way, and he's like, your war conversation was so good. I loved it. I would love
Did he side with me?
No. He thinks there should be rules to war.
Why?
He's a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
man.
see, exactly. Child. Rules and war are It's like when you're playing outside and like, that's not fair. You have to let me do that. No, sorry. I'm bigger and stronger and faster. Those are the rules.
That's like a baseball game and someone changes the rules right in the middle of it and you're like, okay, you have to keep playing. No, it doesn't work that way. You would stop the
like
game.
The NBA, when your top player is not
Travels
No,
on.
because you guys are talking about a game which is structured by rules itself.
Hey, if you listen to Tom Brady, he's like a soldier.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Going to the NFL season is like going on a tour of duty.
I know, right? That was the dumbest thing.
That guy, no one has done more to harm his image
Hold on.
than he has over the past
Did he
year.
actually say that?
Yes.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard an athlete say.
He went and re-clarified his comment, but it's like,
He didn't mean it the way he said it, but it was still stupid to say it.
I think he did, but he got caught.
Here's the thing. For a long time, athletes have been equating sports and war, right? We're going to war. We're going to battle. This is my team. This is my squad. Like,
Yeah, this is my troop.
they take it a little too far.
Well, yeah, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, I get the analogy, but it's a loose analogy, and you're not actually going to war.
Mm-hmm.
Here's that. I got news for you guys.
Are you sure? They may tell them that.
Yeah, are you going to get PTSD from playing football? I mean, you might. If Ray Lewis comes at you.
Yeah.
No, who's the
You've
guy?
seen some of those hits.
Who's the guy for the Cardinals from the early 2000s?
Oh, who actually went?
Who actually
joined
went?
the Green Berets.
Pat Tillman.
Pat Tillman.
And died, yeah.
Pat Tillman could say that. Everybody else shut the hell up. Honestly, stop equating sports to war. But anyway,
I agree.
I don't have a problem with anybody's tactics. Let me just put it that way.
Because now you got to do what you got to do.
You got to, yeah.
Well, and especially
I
if
understand why Section 31 did what they did.
Right.
I basically defended it last week.
Well, and I guess for Bashir to ignore this would be him being complicit and allowing genocide. So now you have to do whatever it takes. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So if Sloan has to go down, and again, they weren't trying to kill Sloan.
No, they weren't.
And he can justify him doing it for the needs of the many being the Federation and everybody fighting this war. Those are his many, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not doing it for the few. He is trying to save Odo, but at the same time he recognizes that Section 31 plays a major role in this war and wiping out an entire race.
Mm-hmm.
What else could they do? They went into his mind. They went into this basically like this hoarder's room of military secrets.
It was Inception.
It's crazy.
They went, yeah.
It's the inspiration for Inception.
How
You go.
much time did they have?
An hour.
An
right?
hour.
Right, but how much time did they have at that point? Like 5 minutes? Not even.
Not even.
He couldn't have read. I mean, he's genetically enhanced. He couldn't have read 3-4 of them and then get the hell out of there.
I mean, he was looking at a couple, right? But
Did anybody make notes of what they were mentioning?
All they
did
mentioned was the Federation president.
Well, they had a member in his cabinet for
I was
the
curious
former
for
president.
31.
I was curious if those were anything like previous,
President-
like
that would be a
Next
nice
Generation
tie-in.
or
President
like previous
Trudeau?
movies or anything.
The president they mentioned was the president from Homefront, where they went to the planet and they were trying to declare martial law.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same president from that episode.
Okay.
So it's someone from his cabinet trying to convince him to declare the martial law.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, plus the founder was there, but they had a person in his cabinet.
Okay. I mean,
Giroux. I was trying to remember the president's name.
Nailed it.
nailed it. Yeah. It's a solid episode, but like, there's not much really to talk about.
We're just gonna not mention that the boys mentioned that they love each other.
How much they love each other, and it's like,
No, I don't think O'Brien ever admitted it.
he said he loved him, but he said he didn't like him more than his wife.
Yeah.
He said it a few too many times for me to not be convinced.
Yeah, I love my
wife.
I love my wife. Yeah, but you like me more. But I love my wife. That was pretty good. That back and forth was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
Like they're just.
And then that last scene where he's like, I'm going to go have dinner with Keiko, and as he's walking out, do you want to come? He's like, sure.
Yeah.
Like, man, that my wife must hate Bashir. Like, always tagging along as the third wheel.
Yeah, but
I do love their friendship. Like, it's
yeah, but
and that's
he puts a smile on O'Brien's face. Keiko rarely does.
and it's like, man, this guy's a racist jerk, and Bashir comes
I know.
along, and suddenly he's all right.
Yeah.
So, like, his racism is a little more tempered when Bashir is around.
Good.
Just a little bit. Not much.
Bashir helps level him.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And Bashir will call him out on his racist crap.
Every once in a while.
You're being a douche.
You're being a douche. You're being a douche.
I'm looking at my notes. Julian and Miles basically admitted they're in love with each other.
I did enjoy that. It was a nice wrap up for those two
And
characters.
that's what they wanted to write the episode for, was a friendship between the two.
Julian admitting that he's in love with Ezri.
Yeah, passionately.
Passionately. I was like, that's a leap.
But I like you more.
Especially because they really have not had a lot of interaction in this season to really warrant
He
it.
hasn't really mentioned that he has feelings for her yet to anybody.
He has a little bit.
A little bit. I know, but we go from a little bit to I'm passionately in love with her.
And Jadzia, he was passionately in love with. You could tell that. They had chemistry from the beginning. Ezri and Bashir is so forced.
Yeah, it's
so
definitely
forced.
Definitely forced and
and that
unnecessary.
comes into play in this next episode, but
It's unnecessary too.
unnecessary. And you don't need to do it.
No, you did not need to do it at all.
No.
It was
but
very...
they need to do it. Bow chicka bow wow bow bow wow.
Is that what that sounds like?
Really?
Yeah.
Sorry. That's all I got.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to the listeners.
I apologize, listeners. I'm sorry to let you down. I will never do it again.
That's a
lie.
It's a bald-faced lie, literally.
Until next time.
until about 10 minutes from
I will
now.
never do it again until next time. Bow chicka bow wow bow wow wow.
All right, summarize the next episode.
Yeah, let's go to Dogs of War.
Right. The Dogs of War. The Dominion wipes out the Cardassian rebellion, basically. Damar, Garrick, and Kira are forced to go into hiding on the planet, and basically the Dominion announces, "Hey, we killed Damar," and Damar's like, "Bro, I'm still alive," and they're like, "But you're hiding in a basement," and they decide, "Hey, wait, hold on, you have some power," because in the streets they're talking about how Damar is still alive, even though they said you're dead. So you have a lot more support than you realize. So Damar's like, okay, let's go outside. Let's bomb some Jem'Hadar places. They bomb a Jem'Hadar place. He gives a big old speech and fires up 10 people in Cardassia, which means they're going to have a whole army next episode. Right. There you go. That's that part. Meanwhile, on Deep Space Nine, Quark gets a message from Grand Nagus Zek that he's going to be made the Nagus. Turns out, no, that's really not the case. He's not going to be made Grand Nagus. Rom is going to be made Grand Nagus, which is perfect because Quark was mad about all these changes that have been made, which is basically ripping the United States. Like
make Ferenginar great again.
Yeah, exactly. Like all these changes that were social programs that were instituted, a basic minimum wage.
Yeah.
And Quark's like, how can you do that? You're ruining our planet.
I've never seen him so passionate.
So Rom gets the bar. And Quark is happy, and he says he loves his brother, and he's going to make his bar the last vestige of Ferenginar. New Defiant is introduced.
Boo!
Right? Odo is disgusted to learn the Dominions the founders were infected by Section 31, and they're basically not going to do anything. Ezri and Bashir admit their feelings for one another. The Dominion withdraws to its borders, and Cisco convinces the Admiral, the Cleons, and the Romulans that it's time for a full-scale assault because the Dominion is counting on them not doing anything because that's what the Federation does, is nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Cassidy announces she's pregnant, but she's worried about the profits. The end.
Lots to digest in this episode.
Lots going on.
So
So
for
for
everything but the kitchen sink in
So
this
for
episode.
for as little that happened the previous episode,
Yeah.
the polar opposite happened this episode.
Which is a problem, I think. Some of this could have been in the last episode.
they could have brought one of these things over as a B plot for the first episode.
I would have liked the wife being pregnant in the last episode because we don't get a lot of time to digest that before the finale.
But if they did that in the last episode, they'd have to focus on this episode. They can't just leave it hanging out there.
Yeah, they can.
They can just briefly mention it. They don't have to make a big deal about it.
With everything that's going on in this episode, Cisco and the...
Well, I don't. Okay,
I think...
All right.
hold on.
So your argument is that I'm saying take that plot out of this episode, put it in the other one, and give one or two lines to it in this one. You're saying there's not enough time. That's an argument for taking it out.
I don't know. I haven't watched.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just think that
Stop
if you take
fighting, boys.
from a writing point, if you take it out, if you put it in the end of last episode, and it has to become a story plot in this episode.
So I agree with that, which is why I would probably do the Grand Nagus plot
There you
put
go.
it in the first episode because it's
Bam.
more of a isolated plot.
That would balance too.
And it's
what was
lighthearted.
happening in the last episode.
Yeah, and it is a little bit more lighthearted. I think they could have done. I think that would have been a perfect AB.
That would have worked, and there was a lot they could have cut from that episode last week, especially once they're inside his head.
Man, that the whole speech in the quarters with a family member, that was weird.
I mean,
Yeah,
it would have been good if we cared about the character, but we don't. Like when they're talking about how terrible of a husband he was, like, but we don't care about the character. So
Yeah, that was a weird scene. He's just like, gotcha.
Weird.
I know he pops in, shoots them,
Gotcha.
and they're all you're dead. Mm-hmm. Silly ghost.
I was like,
That's what they were like.
damn it, we got the wrong guy.
All right. Is this okay? We know that when they bring in the Ferengi, it's going to be zany. But is Rom being made the Nagus one step too far, or does this fit
It fits.
It fits.
with the
It's-
Nagus
I
and with
think-
his relationship?
Well,
with,
I think
with the
for
whole
the reason-
Moogie, the whole point of it was to bring Ferengi forward,
right,
Right.
and
and
who
Rom's
is
not your typical Ferengi.
and who's perfect.
Yeah.
Rom.
Yeah.
but is
He was the
too-
one who led for unions a while back.
That's true.
He's been an advocate for Lita to be more open about her role, her position, her compensation.
Yeah, and he was the one giving all the advice on how Quark should have been more like a female in that one episode. Like he
And-
knows
right.
things.
And he joined the Bajoran militia. His son's the first
son is-
Ferengi
yeah.
in Starfleet.
Hmm?
He might.
So for where Ferenginar is going, I think Rom is the perfect Grand Nagus.
And what a journey for Rom. Do you think from the beginning of this series to
where
now,
he was known as like a dork, just an idiot,
an idiot.
Yeah.
and he's
And he's still an idiot, don't get me wrong. But I love him.
I don't think he's really an idiot. I think people play him dumb,
Yeah, sure.
and
I was joking.
no, I know, but I liked the way that his character has. I don't know if there's any more developing for his character in the finale. I would assume not really, because there's too much else to do. But I feel like this is probably the
A good send
magnum
off.
opus for the Ferengi, right?
Yeah.
As far as DS9 is concerned, I think this is the perfect way to wrap it up, because Rom is going to make a great Grand Nagus, and his brother is going to sort of reset the bar,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how the Nagus retires to Ryza.
Yeah.
Good thing Worf isn't there to ruin
We're
it.
going to
And
Ryza.
I like how it's basically like their stepdad
Yeah.
telling them me and your mom are going to retire and go bang.
Non-stop.
That's what we're doing, nonstop.
Non-stop. That's all we're going to do.
Nonstop sex with your mom.
I wish though in the phone call where he's like, "We're gonna go to Ryza," and it breaks out for a second. Like I wish it would have broken out for a lot longer as he's like describing what he was gonna do, but they didn't do that. They kind of played it safe there.
Well, let's talk opening scene, the new Defiant, or Sao Paulo. Joe?
Hated
Whatever.
it.
Whatever.
I hated it.
I didn't,
Well, they did Star Trek 4, if you think. If you really think about it, Star Trek 4, they gave Kirk another Constitution class,
Named it Enterprise.
Enterprise A.
Mm-hmm.
This is not an A, by the way.
It's just the Defiant.
It's just the Defiant.
Defiant class.
It's Defiant class. So they were going to give the station another ship.
I don't like. Now I'm not well versed in the naming of military vessels. Do they rename a ship to the exact same name as a ship that has been destroyed? Do they recycle those names?
I don't know that, but like the Enterprise in,
Because
in Star Trek 4
Mhm.
was the Yorktown, and they renamed it to Enterprise A
So there is precedence then
in the Star Trek universe.
in Star Trek universe. Okay,
I'm looking this up right
so that's
now.
fine. It's probably.
And
I just don't like that they did it. I have the Sao Paulo and
I like how they brought it on. They called it the Sao Paulo first, and then special dispensation.
yeah.
And rename it Defiant. I like how they were able to do that, kind of show that it's a different ship, but we're going to still call it the Defiant for the last episode.
I like how they added Bashir saying, or was that O'Brien who like didn't like the carpet?
Yeah, one of them said it. I don't remember.
I don't like the carpet.
I don't like the carpet. See, it's different. It has different carpet.
Fine.
I just
Does it
feel
match
like
the drapes though?
I didn't notice.
didn't
I
see
feel
that.
like again for this show you don't need to introduce a Defiant because you're near the end. Have them fight in a different ship. No one cares. For
They
the
can't
finale.
rebuild a set. Costs too much money.
They have other sets.
They could have used Voyager set.
Oh, they could have had Voyager.
Yeah, we're just gonna borrow this, guys. Go over to where they filmed Voyager.
And they could have. I mean, they're filmed in the same stage and same studio.
Yeah, could have just gone across the street. But I know, like with the last episode, a lot of the restrictions in it was because of budget, because they needed money for the last episode.
Right.
So budgetarily speaking, it's kind of a necessity in a lot of ways. And if Voyager's in the height of filming, you can't really borrow the Voyager set.
Repaint it. You're fine.
Put some neon lights in there. Make it a rave.
Club Defiant.
Woo, woo, woo. I just feel like, again, you cheapen when you're writing a story and you say this traumatic thing is going to happen, and then 2 episodes later you reset it, much like
because
Odo.
the Defiant,
it was 4 episodes, by the way.
It was a while, but to Nick's point, the Defiant being destroyed was a wow moment. It was a big wow moment in the whole show. Like, it was like an eye-opening, like jaw-dropping moment. They destroyed the Defiant.
Right.
Bringing back another one or renaming another ship the Defiant is like, fine. It reminds me of the end of The Visitor.
You fuck. I'll kill you.
Yeah, there's some truth to that. Just the
because
great
that was
button.
because that
Nothing had
whole episode
consequences.
was supposed to be a wow moment, a jaw-dropping, storytelling, masterful episode.
And it was.
Yeah, but in the end, it's like, yeah, but it doesn't really matter because
None of it
happened.
Well, Cisco remembers it, man. We're not
Does he?
talking about the visit. Yeah, he does.
He remembers.
Unless-
He remembered it.
Unless it's coming up in they've almost never referred to
They've
back
never,
to it.
not almost never, never.
Yeah.
So then it never happened.
Yeah, might as well have
And
never.
they didn't change the way they wrote the character, which is what I've been paying attention to.
Maybe he's more murderous because of that episode.
No, he let Jadzia go and kill Klingons in cold blood.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't cold blood. They knew it was coming.
It was over. There was no reason that's cold blood.
It was pretty
And
cool.
he was like,
But-
yep, you know what? Go ahead. You're good. You got vacation time. Might as well use it.
might as well just do what you got to do.
Use it or lose it, sister.
I actually agree with you about the Defiant point. I really do. About even a different ship would have been nice.
Yeah.
But so that was 4 weeks apart. So back then, that could have been 2 months when you're actually watching it in real time.
I know. My issue isn't they do it in such close proximity to when they destroyed it. My issue is they're basically replacing it with the exact same thing. Replace it as a Sao Paulo and just move on. Maybe the ship itself isn't as big of a character, but at least you're fighting with a Defiant class starship.
Did you take issue with it in Star Trek 4 when they got another Enterprise Constitution class?
No, I didn't, and the reason is I didn't have the emotional investment in
Nick?
that.
No, because the Enterprise had been a ship for 25 freaking years and was instrumental in the entirety of the fleet. The Defiant lasted 3 years.
That's fair.
So it doesn't have the staying power.
Was the Defiant a new ship when they got it?
Yeah.
Yes. It was
Okay.
brand new. It was going to be used to fight the Borg. But they
Okay.
don't need it.
Well, yeah, then
Resistance
it doesn't
is futile.
have the longevity or the history.
This far, no farther.
Yeah, we got that line in this episode.
Yeah. Ron Moore wrote it, and he wrote First Contact.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he wrote First Contact.
That
Yeah,
was,
him and Brendan
that was,
Braga.
Gosh,
that
my
was
love for
Quark.
Ron
That was
Morsing.
Quark who said that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
That was
Picard-
that was a great little monologue.
But it's almost an exact.
It is exact.
It's exact from Star Trek First Contact. Captain Picard says it in first, not the whole rant about
Yeah.
Frankenar, but he says this far.
That
and
would
no
be
further.
interesting.
Yeah. So Ron Moore wrote both.
Okay.
And so it's kind of a little nod to that.
okay.
Yeah.
When did First Contact come out?
1996.
The line must be drawn here, no further.
I like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great line. That whole rant. I was like, even though I don't necessarily agree with Quark, I don't necessarily disagree with Quark.
It's Quark.
I mean, I agree in a way. I mean, I obviously, ideally, the Ferengi should sort of shed those
Viewpoints.
and move to something a bit more progressive.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be like the Klingons being a bit more progressive and soft and maybe
And start
not,
hugging people.
right. It just wouldn't seem right.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't track.
It doesn't track. Ferengi, that's their cult. That's the way that they are. Just let them be. Right. So all the women are going to walk around with clothes now?
Gosh, that world sucks.
Awful. Awful.
Next thing you know, they're going to let them vote.
Although Moogie looked nice in that one piece
Moogie-
a while back. I'm still a little shook.
What was the quote? Moogie's stacked.
She is stacked. She was stacked. I'm still a little like uneasy about some of the feelings I had in that episode.
All right, some other things. Do we want to even really talk about Bashir and Dax? Do we care?
Nope.
I
Move
don't
on.
want to talk about.
No, it took too long for this to happen.
Yeah,
Way too long.
and who cares?
Quit. They're trying to do like the whole song
Will
and
they,
dance.
won't
like,
they? Will
oh,
they, won't they?
Stop.
No.
Nobody's invested in this.
It didn't work.
Either get with each other or don't, so we can move on with the story.
Can we talk about Cisco being like, bros, we need to attack?
Yeah.
And I love that because, again, they're right. The Dominion is counting on, we know what the Federation will do. They're not going to attack. That's not who they are. And Cisco's like, yeah, they're counting on us to leave them alone. So let's go. Let's ride.
I like that whole military like back and forth, like thinking ahead
About the major
thinking
casualties,
About,
yeah.
Well, no, but just thinking, getting in the mindset of your opponent, right? This is how they're going to think of us. So if that's how, it's this chess piece.
They're
this
not going to
chess
expect
game.
us to attack, so we should attack.
Right.
Even though we know if we attack, there's going to be massive casualties. Massive casualties.
But it's a calculated risk.
It's like storming the beaches of Normandy. You know it's a major risk. You know your losses are going to be almost too much.
They didn't know. They didn't know that they knew though.
The Germans knew.
Right, but we didn't know that the Germans knew.
No.
They kind of knew.
They weren't expecting it. They weren't expecting that.
Yeah, to that extent, right? Yeah, and we also threw them off by invading a different area and having different. Yeah, so
And it was not a good strategy for that to happen on a beach.
yeah,
Yeah. That's not good. You're completely taking out everything behind you. Like you have one way to go, and
Yeah, you
there's
have
already
no
people.
choice, yeah.
There's already people occupying that space.
Well,
so
you know what's so funny about what happened during D-Day is one of the things that accidentally happened is too many of the airplanes were being shot down with the paratroopers in there. So they were just having to bail, right? These paratroopers. And because they were bailing in like random areas, not in their assigned spots, it confused the Germans. So they were moving troops around. They didn't know where to put their troops.
Yeah.
So it actually helped that our ships were being shot down. So that's a cool little nugget of history right there for folks.
my great uncle he stormed the beaches of Normandy.
Did he
survived.
really? Gosh, now I want to
Also-
watch Band of Brothers again.
Also fought in the Battle of the Bulge
Holy
and survived.
Wow.
He died. I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago at like the age of like 90
If you
something.
tell me he was in Easy Company, I'm going to be
I don't know what company he was in.
101st Airborne Easy Company.
You know when his birthday was? He turned 21 on D-Day.
Wow.
He turned 21 as
Can
he
you
stormed the
imagine?
beaches of
19-year-old
Normandy.
So here's the difference with the Federation War versus, actual
A
wars.
real war.
Federation, it's like 40-year-olds doing the fighting, right? In our wars, it's 19-year-old kids going to die.
Yeah.
19-year-old poor kids. And the Federation, it's people who want to be there and because
Right.
we're doing what we
Well,
love.
because it's not supposed to be military. It's not supposed to be we're not fighting
Right,
wars.
they're exploration.
They're not putting. They're not
peace-seeking
putting.
mission.
They're not putting the Federation.
But it's
together
still
to
it's
fight a
still
war.
interesting. Like,
Well, for sure.
you have a army made up of 40-year-olds.
Well, it's like at the end of Siege of AR 558 where they brought the new recruits in. They're like, they're so young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
And it's also not hand-to-hand combat. They're flying ships, so I mean.
well, there's some hand like on that planet.
Well, when they like board the ships and you got to bitch slap somebody.
But yeah, how often? And most of the people are never even going to see combat. They're like in a dark corridor with no windows, feeling
Right.
the ship rocking. Oh, something's happened. Let me hit this button. No. Let me tap the button faster. No.
reverse the polarity.
Reverse it. Ionize the fields. It's pretty accurate.
Hold on, I got to go back to my notes because
Withholding the cure.
Yeah.
Starfleet was like, we're not going to give it to him.
Even though we have it.
Yep. Joe,
What would stop
going back on
Bashir?
your stances. What would stop Bashir?
he. So wait,
Sorry for all
go
the
again.
coughing.
Starfleet Medical, Starfleet withholding the cure from the founders. Knowingly. Because, Bashir
Yeah.
just cured Odo. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. So
Well, exactly. I was waiting for that. That's exactly what I was waiting for.
yeah. I mean, what?
So let him die.
You cure Odo and you burn the recipe.
Well, then you could just negotiate. Say, hey, we got this cure, bro.
No, I don't. I wouldn't even.
That's what I would do. I
Yeah.
would use it for negotiation purposes.
Maybe, but then I wouldn't give it up.
If they all die, then the Dominion crumbles anyways. But that's not how the Federation works.
But if the Dominion crumble, like if they
So-
all go, you think Jem'Dar is going to go
Okay.
hang out peacefully?
yeah,
Okay,
because
so
where are they going to
peacefully?
get their catcher cell white?
But they're going to go crazy before that and just take out everything before they go. "Ugh."
Okay, question.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So we do.
It'd be
So
fine.
let's say we negotiate
That's
it,
fine.
right? Listen, guys, we have this cure. We can cure you, but you know what? War's over. You step back, get the hell out of here. Don't even try to start this again. Do you go against your? Do you actually give them the cure? Do you trust them to be cured and to not do
and
it
then
again?
to not come back. Yeah, that's the tricky part. Yeah, I guess that's the tricky part. But
So
keep in mind, they're losing this war right now. The Dominion is not doing well. They're losing at this point. If they were still winning the war and this would happen, I think the answer is different. But I think they're losing.
you don't think they go back, retool, rebrand themselves, and then come back?
Well, didn't they establish that the Dominion was still winning the war?
Yeah, but they were
Because-
shortening up their they were making it more difficult on the Federation.
Yeah, and when the Breen took over, the big concern was they developed that defense to the Breen weapon. So let's build more ships and overpower them later. But they were still winning the war up to that point.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I do like this episode, and I forget it, and then the episode reminds you that how they've turned Cardassia and Cardassians into the Bajorans.
It is interesting, and then you have Kira here in the background watching.
I was going to say
them
we haven't really talked about this yet.
No, we should talk about that for sure.
No, it's just fascinating, the juxtaposition there.
She's leading them through a rebellion.
And they're having an experience, a lighter version of what, because they were willing surrenderers to the Dominion at first. The Bajorans were not surrenderers to the Cardassians overtook them.
Right.
But to a certain level, it's very similar. Like they have now become the Bajorans.
In a way, in the whole underground thing, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're experiencing what the Bajorans.
Damar's little speech there was kind of inspired. I'm like, all right, let's go, Damar. I know. Let's go. I'm with you.
Freedom.
He was pretty awesome.
William Wallace was out there.
It was a good speech too. Yeah,
It's interesting that Kira's leading this, though.
Yeah, it's just come full circle for these Cardassians. Like you look at the progression of Rom, the Cardassians, Damar,
and Kira.
and Kira.
There's no way she's doing this in season 3.
Yeah, but it's just it's a nice when you go back and you look at season 1 and 2 and 3 and even 4 probably where you're like, wow, they really kind of flipped everybody on their head and said there's some real development in this.
Yeah.
It was a good episode.
So it's just fun to watch the Cardassians have to suffer a little bit.
It's fun. And then you have Cassidy at the end announcing she's pregnant, which is
I don't know how. I guess I'll reserve a full discussion on this for the finale.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming this is going to play a part in it. Something or other. They can't announce this and then have no resolution.
The vote for Proposal 3 takes place between this episode, so who knows what's going to happen? Who knows?
Wrong show, guys.
That'd be hilarious. I'm pregnant, and he's like, "Lose it. Get rid of the baby.
Oof.
Get rid of that baby."
I voted yes.
Uncomfortable. This is not the show I expected.
Her body, her choice, Cisco.
I don't know. This show got uncomfortable.
But like, I don't know. It's funny because every time something happens where it involves like the family tree, I always go back to the visitor. I'm like, what happened in there? Who was
Fuck you and your visitor take, man.
Well, I didn't see. Were there grandkids, or were there? Did Jake have a brother? Was there a brother mentioned?
Yeah, but the whole timeline changed with him going back in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. See why? And again, why it's a garbage episode?
It's not
Because none of it matters. Because none of what
kill
happened
you,
in
man.
the future happened.
it's about the journey, man.
Yeah.
The journey to nowhere.
Yeah. Whatever.
It's like going through a beautiful maze and then
Do you want to
running
get throat punch on camera?
and then running into a door
It's true. It's just like that.
and then opening that door and ending up.
I've
back
never
at the
hated
beginning-
you so much
and then
as I do currently.
And then ending up back at the
You
beginning
and
of
I
the maze.
know that's not true. You've hated him more.
No, right now it's the most.
I don't know. When he originally gave the visitor an 8, you hated him pretty.
Yeah, but now I keep doubling down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was really only a 5 in hindsight.
I know, yeah.
I would dick punch him right here.
Please do.
It'd be
I need some
interesting to
action.
look at what episodes we gave really good scores from earlier seasons, to go back and watch them now and see if they still get
Episode
that.
101. Stay tuned.
Well, maybe what we do is when we watch the doc, we pick 3 episodes or 2 episodes. And
I say we do the doc and then do a little deep diving into our scores over the course of the seasons.
What?
Show meeting.
What?
You know what's going to happen? He's going to say, "Let's just start over Deep Space Nine again."
Yep.
And let's not watch the next show.
What's the next show?
I'm not going to even say it because I don't want to hear, "Never heard of it."
Never heard of what?
You're a douchebag.
Yeah, you are. That's right. Is that what I sound like?
No, it's just my throat. On some reason, I can't.
That's pretty accurate to me.
I'm Rob. I hate everything and everybody.
You're not far off.
All right, let's rate the episodes.
That's a little more accurate. That's a little more accurate.
Let's rate the episodes, gentlemen.
5. I'm kidding.
So first episode was, what was it again? It was I always forget.
Mind over matter.
Mind over matter.
No, I just
Extreme
renamed
Measures.
it. That's a good name for the episode, though.
Yeah, it is. Extreme Measures. I give this episode a 6.5.
Ooh, I'm going 7.
I did 6.
It's not great.
Rob said 6. He's not by the microphone.
They can fucking hear me.
For the record, Rob said 6.
I've developed a hate towards Rob in this last 5 minutes because I know what's happening. He's going to continue the Deep Space Nine rewatch episodes.
I'm leaning into it because he's like side eyeing me just because my visitor take. So I'm leaning into it.
Rob is out to get both
for
of us
blood.
today. He's out for blood. All right.
Tis the season, though.
6.5 and 7. What about the Dogs of War? Cry havoc.
Let's slip the dogs of war.
Let's slip the Dogs of War.
And I'm waiting from the mic because I'm typing in the damn scores.
I know you are. I'm just giving you a hard time, boo. Don't be upset. Gosh.
Come on, guys, stop fighting. It's uncomfortable.
You fucking started it, man.
Cry havoc and let's slip the
How-
Dogs of War
how did
by
I start
Julius
it?
Caesar. You need to be nice.
I'm not
And
be
close.
Kind words into the microphone.
I've been up since 1 a.m.
I
You're
know.
nice.
You need to be nice and closer to the microphone.
Next week, Joe's dead.
Should we do the
No,
thing that
don't-
always
don't-
makes people calm down? Calm down, Rob.
Yeah, calm down. Rob, calm down.
Calm down. Rob.
Jeez. It's not that serious. Calm down.
It's not a big deal. Stop.
You're overreacting.
Now talking to the microphone and tell.
Put your fucking scores in.
Yes, next episode. So what do we got? The Dogs of War.
Yeah, what do you got? You did 6.5 for Mind Over Matter, which
8.
I've renamed, by the way.
8.
I did 8.
8? Yeah, I'll do 8. I'm going to do 8.
You were going to go a little bit lower, you think?
No, 8's fine. 7.5 was like, that seems a little low for this because there was a lot that happened. It's pretty good. It advanced. It sets up the finale. It sets up what I think should be a pretty eventful finale.
See, that's part of the reason, though, why I wanted to give it a lower rating is so much happened.
Yeah.
It's like you've spent so many episodes with just Ezri. And now you're like, oh, we're out of time.
Here's the thing. If they took the Ferenginar, if they took the Grand Nagus portion, put it in the previous episode, and they completely eliminated the Ezri and Julian, I would give the first episode an 8, and I'd probably give this an 8.5 or a 9.
I'd say you're probably right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because I think just having the one episode, or basically the one plot in the first episode was like, oh my god, it needed something else. It was just a lot for that episode.
Did you get Ira Burr on the show for us
Yeah, did you not?
next week?
Yeah.
Because we could just say, do you feel bad about introducing Ezri now?
Yeah.
Do you regret that?
Do you regret that? Because we
So
we regret it.
Yeah, because we regret your decision.
We regret it for you.
Yeah,
so you
we're
don't have to
secondhand
actually-
embarrassed for you.
Yeah, we're really disappointed in you. We're not mad. We're just disappointed. You know. So there's that. Gentlemen, next week is a big week.
What is it?
It's surreal, man.
It's the finale of Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode.
I found myself getting a little bit emotional during like the introduction music,
knowing it's coming to an
I'm
end.
like, these are the last couple times I'm going to hear this forever because I will never go back and watch this show again.
Never ever again. It's over. It's
Now I'm really just digging my heels in
It's dead
and
to you.
making Rob hate me.
You know what would probably have helped it if episodes like The Visitor were excluded from the run, right?
No, I want to. I
I could take you both out, right?
I know you
Not
actually
me.
could. You could take me out.
be a fair fight. I can punch up.
Who would
I
win?
can jump and punch.
Who would win in a fight between the three of us? Not me. I can fully admit that. I was like, ugh.
I would like to go back and rewatch a couple episodes
That
though.
would be interesting. Let's consider that. Let's consider that for the future. So, in the meantime, next week is episode 100, folks. It is the finale of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. We're super excited. It's episode 100. I want to encourage you, if you haven't, call in. Leave us a voicemail for episode 100. We'd like to have some voicemails for episode 100.
Tell us your favorite episode of our show and your favorite episode of DS9.
There you go.
Please. Please do. Please call in. Please.
No visitor
Please.
calls though.
Please.
Yeah,
Call in.
call and convince me not to
And
hurt them
we're going
both.
to do that. And then, as you know, episode 101 will be What You Leave Behind. We're going to watch the documentary, and that'll be exciting. And we'll dive into that as well. So, tune in. You got a
And
next,
we'll do some accounting too of our scores.
yeah, we'll do some accounting of scores. So we got a lot coming up here in the next couple episodes. We got an exciting
Next week's
future.
gonna be a big one though. It's gonna
Big
be
one.
a big episode.
And I would almost be okay with dedicating almost the whole episode to that, but that's a show meeting.
Yeah, we'll
So
figure it out.
We'll talk about that.
Of course,
it is
some
a-
big news will come out next week. We'll be like, crap, we got to talk about this.
Great.
Yeah, nuclear war with Russia. Great.
That's not
Dude, that's
pop
not
culture.
funny.
We don't care.
It's not.
That's not
Well,
funny.
Nuclear war with Russia, but they bombed the Rock's house.
Ooh.
No, not the Rock.
Yeah, but spoiler alert, it's the Rock. So he just like Shazams it off. He like it's no big deal. It doesn't do anything.
He's Black Adam, not Shazam.
Yeah.
But he has to say Shazam.
I know. Shazam.
Gentlemen, where can you find us?
Anywhere
Anywhere.
on the streets.
Anywhere you
734-494-0980. That
phone
number. Give us a call. Leave us a voicemail. We got 100 DS9 finishes next week.
Follow us at Cardassians Pod.
That's it.
Anywhere you go.
on the newly minted Elon Musk Twitter.
Oh.
Instagram.
You can also go on Instagram at Cardassians, at keeping _up_ Cardassians. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on the YouTube. You can follow us in all those places.
Patreon.
Patreon, $2, $5, $10 tiers. Still doing the special.
We have a new
Yeah.
$10 Patreon, too.
Yeah, Nat.
Yeah?
Annette.
Welcome, Nat, to the $10
Welcome.
tier. Woo, woo. Give it up for her homegirl.
If you sing,
I think
it's not going to
it was
encourage people.
all the nice things I said about her last week.
It was. But anyways, folks, it's been great keeping up with you. Bye.
wait until episode 98
I know, come on.
to come up with actually a clever outro.
Bye, all.
I think you said it last week.
I did. I said